Roses. This is Budgeting Rose. So, in today's episode, we're actually going to discuss um, the series. It's called Warrior Nun. So, I do have my notes down here. So, I am looking at that. I'm not like falling asleep and taking mini naps. So, do pardon me. Okay, so Warrior Nun just came out on Netflix on July 2nd. It is, let me get my thing here. It's season one, 10 episodes, available on Netflix since July 2nd, 2020. I did find out that it was actually filmed, most of it was filmed in Spain, but that was from Wikipedia. So, okay. And I heard that Netflix actually renewed it for a season two, so hopefully that actually happens because there's so many questions I need answered. Okay, let's get to it. So first, let me discuss the financial part because obviously this is Budgeting Rose, and Budgeting Rose talks about finances, mine, other people's, all the shows. That's what we do. Number one, and then we get into it. Let's get into it, right? Okay, so with the finances. So let me talk about first what the show is about. So first of all, if you haven't watched the show yet, go watch it and then come back because on this episode I will have all the spoilers. I'll be getting into a bunch of things. So it's better if you already watched it or if you're a person who you're okay watching something after somebody talked about it, then you're fine. You can stay. But go watch it first, come back. All right. So this is me giving you time to go watch it. Okay. And now that you've watched it, let's get into it. So, my first thing, when I was just watching the entire season, because yeah, I watched it in one sitting. Okay, in like two sittings. First thing I was like, okay, the order. Okay, whoa. Back up, Rose. Okay, so the first thing, it's about a girl named Ava who is a quadriplegic. She's 19 years old and she dies. So the story starts out with her on the slab and she's dead. And then she's like doing a voiceover and then it starts. So boom, bam, boom. These warrior nuns. Did you hear what I said? Warrior nuns. First of all, when I heard that, I was just like, okay, I like warriors. I'm here for it. And then nuns. So the warriors are women. Women warriors? I am here for all of it. So anyway, so the warrior nuns come in and they're fighting. And then bing, bam, boom. It ends up that they put this halo in her back and then she comes back to life. What? Okay. And then so the story follows her and how she has to like become okay with like now she's awake and can walk and talk and be alive, and now you are chosen and you need to be fighting demons. Yes, you heard me. I said demons. Not just a simple, fight the bad guys. No, straight up demons. Not the cute demons that just look human and cute. No, like scary, ugly demons. Yeah. That's what she came back to. Okay, so finances. So yeah, so the whole time I was watching it, I was like, ugh. So the nuns are in a special order that's under the Catholic Church, but they're just in within themselves, and so they're the order of. Well, I'll put the name here. I at this second I don't remember it, but I will definitely get the name, put it over here. So the order of whatever I put here, and I just felt that they need to be separate from the church just from the get go. So we find out they've been around for centuries. They've been fighting demons for centuries, and they've been under the Catholic Church for centuries. And I was just like, it's not going to be good because, like, yeah, you. So first of all, you're like, oh, but why? What's the problem? They're both doing. They have the same mission statement: to fight evil, and then you to fight evil. But it's like how they said it was founded was the first warrior nun was a brave warrior woman, and she was fighting, and during the crusade times, and then she has like a league of men and they're fighting, and then she gets mortally wounded and she's gonna die. So then an angel comes and puts his halo in her and saves her life, and then that's how the first warrior nun was made. So then she gets all the women together and they dedicate their lives to be warriors, and then we're up to now. So I was already like, okay, cool. Yeah, separate. So just even in how it was founded, it was already separate from the church. So I feel like they should have just kept that same energy and been separate from the church, because eventually your interests will be different. Like the warrior nuns, they're just supposed to focus on fighting demons, fighting evil. The church, whatever they decide. So most of the time you'll be about the same things, the same mission statements, but then there'll be other times that, yes, I was not for it. So, of course, then you're like, but the Catholic Church has like millions of dollars and you would have nothing. But had they started at the time when it was first started, when they first made the order, they would have had millions too. So we just needed shrewd investments. So like the first one, y'all couldn't get a plot of land. Like I feel like she had a plot of land. The warrior men who were with her, y'all had plot of land. So some of you needed to be willing your stuff to like put it in a will and will it to the order when you die, not to the Catholic Church. So like some of you to the Catholic Church, some of you to the order. So that way the order now can have these investment properties. And then yes, they need to become landlords. So yes, fight demons, but on the other side, you need to do the business end, which is we got to keep the order going. We're not going to be taking charity, because no, then that just dictates like anytime somebody's giving you money, they get to dictate what you do. So I was just like, they need to be separate. So I felt like, yeah, they should have become landlords. So then tenants start paying, and then make sure their land's already paid off because you've had it for centuries. So they just keep those same lands, you rent them out. Yeah, and then you'd have enough money. And then make sure you're not, doing high expenditures, so that, you can, your expenses and your income work out. So some of the nuns needed to turn into the accountants and the financial team of the group. And then bing, bam, boom. Oh, and then don't pay the nuns, just room and board. So like you're not paid for your services, but everything you need is available. And then don't skimp on it. Like still be luxurious and all that stuff, but just no salaries here. No salaries. You had to dedicate your life to this. And then that's how I feel. So now that we've got the finances out of the way, let's talk about everything else. Spoiler alert. Remember I told you about spoilers. So first, I would like to commend the show. I was looking at it. So they had 5 directors. Each did 2 episodes each directed 2 episodes each. And just from judging from the names, I see that they had 3 female directors and then I believe 2 male directors. So I was just like, first of all, and you're like, okay, why is that a big deal? Whatever. It is a big deal. My sister and I like make films, and it's hard to be a woman and be a director. Like it is. It's still a man dominated occupation. So anytime there's a show somewhere I'm watching and there's a woman director, I'm just like, I applaud you, sister. She did it. She's that good. Anyway, don't mind me. So that was important to me, and I like that. So hopefully they continue that in season 2, give opportunities to both men and women. Okay, let's start with Ava. So Ava is the main character. Like I said, she is the one who we meet when she's on a slab and dead. She's 19 years old, and she's been a quadriplegic her entire, not her entire life. Like, she was in a car accident with her mom, and then she ended up quadriplegic, but her mom died. So then she ends up in a convent. I guess it was a convent. Oh no, an orphanage. And then they take care of her there. But then there's this head nurse who is like mean. And we later find out like the head nurse killed her. And then she's basically been killing the kids because mercy killings. So there was that. And we did see at one point when they're like showing her past that she had started, like, she was able to move her middle finger and like make the middle finger obscene gesture. So it was like, oh, okay. And it was I think her right hand. So it seems like she might have regained some, like with better care, she might have regained some of her movement. Oh, and then another thing, we saw that when eventually she goes to the tech place, the tech woman had this advanced wheelchair where you control it with your mind. You just put a headset on and then you control the wheelchair with your mind. And it's like, had she had the resources, that would have been good for her as her growing up because she wasn't able to move. But this would have given her some form of independence. Like, but of course, she didn't have access to that. I'm assuming it was like millions of dollars. And so there's something amazing here that could help your life, and you don't even have access. So that made me sad. And that's just on real life. Okay, so Ava. So yeah, so when she wakes up and she's able to move finally, like, I was excited for her because it's like most of her entire life she hasn't been able to move anything besides that one time we saw her move her middle finger. So I'm like, yes, I was here for it when she was running and frolicking. Oh, whoops. I don't think that's how it's pronounced. When she was running around, eating, drinking, scratching, I was here for it. I was like, girl, you need to do everything. And I mean everything. You need to run. So then you see her running at the beach, and I was just like, yep, because you weren't able to run before. Run. Run like Forrest Gump. Run. But then, of course, she meets a boy. And then we have to focus a bunch of episodes on like her and the boy's romance. And I'm just like, it just reminded me again why I don't like shows that focus on like a teenager. It's not because I don't like teenagers. I'm not in that part of my life where I'm closer to being a teenager. I'm just like so far removed. I'm in my 30s. So the teenage life, I'm just like, you're children. So anytime a movie or show puts children in situations where they need to make adult decisions, I'm just like, but for why? They should be being kids. There's already enough pressure to be a teenager. You don't need all this. And I'm in my 30s. I care about seeing actors and characters who are in their 30s living life, messing up. Like that's who I'm interested in seeing. So there's that. Anywho, so yeah, so they focus a lot on her and the boy. Eventually, her and the boy have sex, and I'm just like, and my first instinct was like, oh. And then now this is your first time having sex. You think you're in love with this boy. We've all been there. And also, I just saw you guys have sex. I don't think you guys used a condom. So now it's like, are we going to have a pregnancy scare? Is that what we're doing? I just was not interested. I was just like, but that's just me. So other people would be interested. All right. So that was Ava. Was she my favorite character? No, but that's just because she's a teenager. So you're a child. I can't. Okay. Next character. Shotgun Mary. Okay. Loved her. So first of all, she is a Black woman character. I was like, yes, Black woman, yes. She had her cornrows popping. So of course you like with her cornrows. Her hair was braided and it looked so good. Like I really loved that they did that. So with the cornrows, it reminded me of this one time I was like, okay, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna have my cornrows popping. So I paid somebody to do I went to salon, they did the cornrows, and I was just like, oh yes, Looking good, feeling good. So I go to work. Okay, so my plan was to have it for like 3, 4 weeks, but I forgot to, like, I was lazy and not like covering it and taking care of it. So it started getting fuzzy, just the not the clean lines anymore. So you could see like fuzzes of hair all over. So then I went to work a couple of times, and then my coworkers were like, it's time for you to take those out, right? And I was just like, so now I was feeling self-conscious, and I was just like, it is. So then I take them out, and then I was just like, I'm not paying this again to have them redo it, and then I have to come back like so often. So me and cornrows at work we're not doing that again. So unless like I have somebody who's like always fixing them for me or taking care of them, because I couldn't do it. So anyway, that was just a side note. So I just appreciated her. And then she had 2 shotguns, and she was just like kicking butt. Boom, 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 kicking butt. This is my kicking butt. I don't know. Don't worry about it. Oh, she was so good. Then there's Sister Beatrice. Oh, and I just loved Sister Mary, because Shotgun Mary, because she was just true to her friend. So she was friends with Sister Shannon, who I'll talk about in a little bit. And when Sister Shannon dies, like, you just saw like they were generally like they were good friends. And she was just like, I need to figure out who killed her. And she was just loyal. I just want loyal friends. I love that. Anywho, so she is one of my favorites, Shotgun Mary. Sister Beatrice is my other favorite. So her backstory was her parents were rich, and she didn't fit in the family. So at first we're like, we don't know what that means. We don't okay, you didn't fit in. So then they sent her to boarding school, and then she found church and she became a nun. But like we also find out like she started like learning all the fighting things, so like karate. I'm just saying karate, but all the fighting things, and then she became in the order, and she's so good. So there's just this one episode, just this one scene where she tells the other nuns to like, okay guys, go, I'll meet you there. And then she goes into the building, and there's just a bunch of security guards. So they're coming at her, and then she just unpins her like warrior thing, face covering, and then she just beats people's butts. They were beaten by this one nun. Oh, she kicked butt. So embarrassed with security. And on that note, security needed to be fired. So then when it was in the tech company, so when the tech company woman I really forgot her name, I'll put her name over here. When she came, she was like, so our security was beaten by a petite nun. I was just like, yes! Everybody's fired. You're fired. You're fired. Everybody's fired. Petite nun coming in here, and you just... I need to go hire the petite nun, because you all just got your butts beaten by a petite nun. I'm just saying the word she used. So I need to go hire her instead. Okay, so Sister Lilith. Now, let me tell you something. Now, when a movie or a show names somebody Lilith, you already know you already know stuff is gonna go down with Lilith. Okay, so first of all, before I watched this history, I was watching the History Channel a couple years ago, and it was like other books of the Bible that didn't make it into the Bible, and then I was just, that's a thing. But apparently it's a thing. So one of them talked about that Adam and Eve, from Genesis in the Bible, it was Adam and Lilith first. So this is if you just believe all this, but this is where all this Lilith stuff always comes from in movies. So that apparently Adam was married to Lilith first, and then she was just like, I'm not having this, nah. and she left. So then Eve was wife number 2. And that's on divorce. Yes, honey, yes. Um, but that's if you believe all that. Okay, so that's how I knew about the Lilith. When I heard Lilith here, I was like, oh, because anytime, let me tell you, anytime they have a Lilith in a movie or a show, trust and believe Lilith's about to do something. Here's my point. So in Sabrina, not Sabrina like the young Sabrina who I used to watch. It's like the Adventures of Sabrina. No, this is the most recent Sabrina show. I'll put it here. There was a Lilith. Yep. Stuff went down with her. So in this one, Sister Lilith, I was like, and yep, stuff went down with her. So it turns out that Lilith comes from a line of they've had, wow, I'm just here doing too much, just doing the most with my hair. Yes, I'm that person. I want every hair in place, so don't mind me. And also, like, I want you guys to like me. So, like, yes, this is what I'm like doing. And yes, this is really how I talk. Love you guys. Okay, so I keep feeling like it's out of place, and then so I keep moving it. So please don't mind me. So Lilith, so she's had in her family bloodline, they've had 4 warrior nuns. So to her, it's like, yeah, so I'm next in line after Shannon dies. But she is like the strongest of the nuns. She's the fastest. She's like the most loyal of this. But then later we find out like she didn't even want to be a warrior nun. It's just her parents forced her to, and then now she's in it. So now she just continues like, yeah, I'm supposed to want this, so now I want it. And I was just like, oh, this is on all of us just like wanting our parents to be happy with us, wanting our parents to be proud of us. So we just suppress like parts of us that would have been amazing to see. And yeah, so I'm here in my 30s and I'm still like, I want my parents to be proud of me. So I totally get it. Yeah, I get it, Lilith. I get it. But when she's passed over for the position as warrior nun after Shannon dies, she went on a rampage. And then I totally understood that because, yeah, I wanted the promotion and I didn't get the promotion. You from nowhere got it. Like, you can be pissed. You can take some time and be upset. I totally get it. Yeah. So there was that. Then later she like she redeems herself and then she dies, of course, and then she comes back. And then we're like, is she good? Is she bad? But okay. Let me come back to that. So then there's Sister Camilla. She was just sweet. She's just like, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to like. She's like she's not like a full nun, I guess, but she's getting there. So she's not like fully in it. But whatever. She's just sweet. And then in the end, like she has to make her decision. Like, will she go with her sisters or like the new order that's going on here? And then she picked her sisters. So I just like appreciated that about her. And she was really cool. Like I could be friends with her. We'd just be vibing and just being cheerful and happy and jamming. Like just very sweet. I definitely liked her. Oh, Mother Superior. I guess it's like Mother Superior, but I think they kept calling her Mother Superior. So Mother Superior. So at first we meet her when she meets Ava, and she is not nice to Ava. So we're just like, okay, you don't feel that Ava deserves to be the warrior nun. She's not worthy. It shouldn't be her. You're super mean to Ava. So she does all that, and we're just like, oh, why? So we're like, okay. But then later we find out like she had the ring thing, the halo in her for a short period of time, but it rejected her. And then she was tasked with training the girls. So, well, training the sisters. And she does a really good job. But when push comes to shove, oh, she was kicking butt. I was like, even with a cane, she was kicking butt. What? Mother Superior, you're on my team. Yes. Okay. Then we meet Sister Shannon. So she's the one who is the original Warrior Nun. Not like original in the beginning, but original like the first one we meet here. But she's already dying. So then they have to take out the halo from her, and then she dies. But the sisters were really sad that she died, and they really liked her, and it seemed like she was a good leader. So okay. But I didn't, because she didn't like have that much that I saw of her, I didn't like get time to like just fall in love with her character and cry when she died. I was just like, oh no, that nun is dying. Oh no. But usually like I cry in shows and movies, so maybe in season 2 they'll have like more of her backstory, and then I'll be there like, no, and then she died. No, why? Why? Okay. Oh, Father Vincent. So here's my other gripe. So this order of nuns was founded by a woman, and then she got other women. And then somehow the church got in here, and then it's run by a man. What? So when Father Vincent was the head of it, I was just like, here we go. Church not letting women be leaders. Yeah, that's my big gripe. I do have a gripe with that. Because when women aren't in management, I take issue with that. We're qualified. Literally, these women fight demons. I think they're qualified to run their own agency. So I didn't care for that. And I was just like, another reason why that order should have been separate from the church. Okay. Then, so Father Vincent, I was like, oh, okay, at least he's like trying to train Ava and not just remove the thing from her back and she dies or returns back to being quadriplegic. I was like, oh, he's good. And then later in the like last episode, we find out that he's been working with the Satan. I was like, what? I knew we shouldn't have had you leading these women. We should just have these women by themselves. I was so betrayed. The betrayal was so deep. It was just like, okay. So Cardinal Duretti. So he oversees the order, and he's a cardinal. So, my knowledge of like Vatican and Catholicness is limited. So I do apologize in advance. So I know it's like the cardinals make the decision of who becomes the next pope, and it's usually like within them they become, so they like decide, and they get to wear like red, and like that's nice. So we just saw him like coming to Father Vincent and just being like, oh, you lost the halo. You know, it's just like when your boss comes to you when you messed up, and then they're just pushing the screws instead of like, let's brainstorm on how we can solve this, and then you'll figure out how to learn from it and move on, and we move on. And that's on like not having a good supervisor right there. That's not a good supervisor, because if you just come to like tell me what I've done wrong and then threaten me with, oh yeah, and if you don't fix it by tomorrow, you'll be fired, which is what Cardinal Duretti tells Father Vincent. He's like, oh, you lost the halo. I'm going to be here for a little bit longer to oversee y'all, because y'all are messing up. And also, you have until tomorrow to find that halo girl and fix everything. Because, like, I can't keep holding back the church from you messing up. And it's like, Cardinal, now, the order's under you. So like the Pope would be looking at you. So like you and Father would get fired. It wouldn't just be Father Vincent was the issue. It's you too. You were his supervisor. But supervisors out here thinking that they're safe. Because I was just like, Father Vincent, when you get fired, make sure you take him down. I'm just kidding. Vengeance is for the Lord. We're not supposed to be the ones taking vengeance. So. Okay, so I was just like, Father Vincent, you need to fix it and run. Fix it. But then he betrayed us. And I was just like, anyway, back to Cardinal. So Cardinal Duretti. So I just felt like the entire time he was plotting. He was plotting over here, plotting over there. The moment he was able to, he got rid of Father Vincent, reassigned him to Florida, got Sister Bernice, because he just kept going around and asking people like, oh, okay, so are you loyal to me? And then like Sister Beatrice was like, yes, Father, yes, Cardinal, I am loyal to God because this order is of God. And then he was just like, I understand. Of course, of course. Not to me. You're getting reassigned. So she gets reassigned to like some far place with the order there. Like she's just going to be a regular nun. Like what? Amazing Sister Beatrice? And that's on supervisors not wanting, like caring more about themselves than the mission of the job. And I was just like, oh. And then when he plotted and planned his way to be Pope, I was just like, first of all, he's a bad guy. Or so we thought. But now he's Pope. So like he's the big boss. Oh, the order is done. The whole order is done. And before he became Pope, he replaced, so he was, everybody who said they were loyal to God, they got replaced with like the reject nuns who like Mother Superior had already interviewed and was just like, no, they can't be here. So he brought all of those back, and they were a little bit psycho and mean. And there was that. Oh, that brings me back to this. So there was another scene with Sister Beatrice where she has to fight one of like the reject nuns who's like super psycho. So she fights her, but then Sister Beatrice like loses because the other nun like it was like practice fighting, and then she just brought out nunchucks. I believe that's what they're called. And then she hit her with that. So then Sister Beatrice was just like, oh, okay. Bow and then move over. But then now later on, it was the second best scene with Sister Beatrice fighting. So she has to fight this one, the same nun again. But this time, Sister Beatrice was just like, oh yeah, sometimes you have to take a beating in order to like do better. Okay, that's not how she said it, but something along those lines. And then so Sister Beatrice starts like saying what this nun is gonna do, like the move. She's like, oh, uppercut, left this, and then she's just like dodging it and saying it before she does it. And then I was just like, and that song, Sister Beatrice will beat your butt. Delicious. I was like, yes, honey, beat her. Okay, so if I was in a situation where I needed help, like I was kidnapped, I would want Shotgun Mary, Sister Beatrice, and as backup, Mother Superior to come and get me. So I would just be sitting with my kidnappers, just chilling, and then I would I don't know if you guys have watched The Color Purple, with the one where Oprah's in it. So there's this scene where Oprah is just like, just rocking in the chair, and then she just does a deep soul laugh. Yeah, I'm like fake rocking right now. And then she just does like this soulful laugh, like just so deep from within her. So that's what I'd be doing with my kidnappers. I would just I can't do it, but I would just be there, just do my light laughing, just because I know what's coming for them. Like, I wouldn't tell them, I wouldn't be like, oh, I know my sisters are coming to get me. I would just be, and then they'll be like, what are you laughing at? And I'll just be like, just do my light chuckle because I know they're coming to beat your butt. So that was neither here or there. Yeah, I had to throw that in. Anywho, so back to the story. Okay, so let me see. I talked about the security guards failing, fired, every single one of them. The Swiss Army. So I actually knew that the Swiss Army are the ones who guard the Vatican because I'd watched one of my favorite YouTubers, The Fun and Budget Act. Wait, is that right? The Fun and... Okay, I'm gonna write it here. So she was on a vacation somewhere to, I think, like Switzerland, and then she went on like a walking tour with her friend, and then in that tour the woman talks about the Swiss Army and how they were like the best army in the world. They'd never lost a battle, and then the one time they lost a battle, they were like, oh, we don't like losing. They disbanded everything, stopped warring, and they were like, no more war. We don't like to lose. And then they actually later became the guardians of the Vatican. And to this day, they still guard the Vatican. So I was just like, oh, girl, thank you for that knowledge. Because when it showed up in the show, and they're like, oh, yeah, who's the Swiss Army? Whatever they said, like the Swiss Army commander or something. I was just like, I know that. I knew it. I know that. So it was pretty cool. So thank you for that knowledge. So I felt like super duper smart here. So that was pretty cool. Then, but they didn't make the Swiss Army look good. They would have been fired too. And then, yes, of course, you're going to be like, which I would say, they had to fight like, supernatural forces and all that stuff, but they failed. But like Vatican and Swiss Army, don't come after me. I'm just talking about like in the movie. I'm not talking about you guys in real life. So I'm just in the movie. That's all in the movie. That's all I'm talking about. Okay, let me throw out my disclaimer here because I don't want no problems. Okay, then we do find out who killed Shannon. Like that person didn't like specifically say like, oh yeah, I killed Shannon, but we were like, oh. So it was you? So we're like 80% sure it's her. It's Father Vincent. But I still feel so Father Vincent is revealed like with the bad guy, but then I do feel that Cardinal Duretti is still bad. Like he's still bad. Like I feel like he's part of the bad group. It's just like we haven't uncovered that he's bad too. So I just feel season 2. We'll see how deep this treachery runs all the way to the top to the Pope, who is Cardinal Duretti. Pope. Well, we didn't find out because I know you as Pope you take a new name. So season 2, I guess we'll find out his new name. What else did I want to tell you guys? Okay. So in the last episode or 2, they were doing this whole thing to get to the bones of the angel, and then if they can get rid of the bones, then the warrior nuns are needed. When she gets in there, there's no bones. There's a person, and that person was the angel, Adriel. And then, so he's cool at first, and then we find out, wait a minute, he's not an angel? He's a thief? And then it's like, wait, so who did he steal from? So it's like, so it's either he did steal from like a real angel, and then, so if we think that's, like, if that theory is right, then the son of the, I really forgot, I don't do great with names. The son of the tech woman, then his name is Michael, so it's like, oh, okay, so one theory is that then Michael, like, the angel Michael's halo was stolen, and then he went into this little kid's body. So this could be, Adriel could be like Satan, I guess, or just a thief. Okay, so then theory 2 is, if you think like, okay, parallel, because I always go to parallel universes first. So if it's like a parallel universe or a different, like if you live in like the multiverse or just a different planet, like maybe he stole the halo from like somebody from a different planet and then was running from them, and that's how he ended up here. And then they just confused him with an angel because like he seemed angel-like from what you wanted to believe. Like, so there was that. Or then if we're saying like it's Michael's halo, then those demon things chasing him could be angels, and then like he's the devil person. What just happened? So it just changes your whole like who is good and who is bad. I just want my clear cut. Who is good? You're good, you're bad. But now it's like, we thought we were good, we might have been fighting for bad. We thought Father Vincent was good, he was the one fighting for bad. What? So there's so many questions. Then at the end, it's just the 5 nuns against the devil person who now puts the demon things in the people who are visiting the Vatican. So they're just straight up like possessed and gonna go fight the nuns. And then it's just like, it doesn't look good. But then we did see Michael, the kid, run into the portal and was just like, Mom, come with me. And then he jumps in. So it's like, maybe, is he good? Is he gonna help? Because like right now I was just like, we all need to take a moment and pray, because this seems like you're gonna need Jesus and God to come in and help, because this does not look good. And could God just clear up who is good and bad, please? Because I don't know. So there's that. So that's where it ends. Like they're just straight up about to fight for their lives. And then Father Vincent was like sneaking off, like after Judas kissed his boss, Adriel, he like slithers off into the corner. I don't know where he was going. It's like, no, you have revealed yourself. Get over here, and now we fight you too. Because what you're not gonna do is disappear so you can help your master some more, okay? The betrayal. And then, so yeah, I still don't think Cardinal Duretti is like good. I just feel like he's still bad. We just haven't found the extent of his badness, but we'll learn it like when he probably First Order, when he's officially like, I guess he's officially Pope right now. First Order he's gonna do is disband the order. Number 2 is gonna like, I don't know, hunt them down. But so I can't wait for season 2. I hope you guys watch this show. But, like with shows like this where they do things to question your religion, it can be tough. So this isn't a show for like just everybody and anybody. Like, I don't know. I just don't think it's for everybody. And then also there's like supernatural stuff with the whole like demons and stuff. So if you're not into like, I don't mean like into demons. I just mean like if you're not comfortable watching shows like that, this is not the show for you. Yeah, so I think that's it for let me just check my notes once again. I think those were my main topics that I wanted to discuss with you guys and let you know. Yeah, that's it. So guys, I hope you guys liked my discussion on Warrior Nun, which is currently available. Season 1 is currently available on Netflix. I hope you guys watch it and we can discuss in the comment section. So This is Budgeting Rose. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, my roses. Bye.